Hello everybody, it's Kevin here again, and this week we're going to be going over some more data access API stuff. So we're going to take some of the stuff that we covered last week, that would have been week 10, with the EF Core Power Tools, SQL Server 2019 integration with .NET Core 6.0. We're going to take that, and now we're going to apply it to a more realistic setting. So last week you should have created a what do you call it, the structure for AdventureWorks. So modeled all that after this. Now you're going to be developing the database, and you're going to be connecting that to an API so that we can reliably get data from the database to the user without having them have direct access. So the database must be modeled around some of the following situations. The reason I chose these situations is because they're real world. These are some items that you might see. You might have a commercial customer or client come to you and ask you to take care of these here items. So that's why I chose these. So in academic settings, so think D2L, our learning management system, so LMS. Here's some of the models. I just included some models that you can add if you decide to use any of these here. So courses model or class, instructors, students, credits, etc. A mechanic shop with vehicles, customers, employees, and taxes. Computer repair shop, government motor vehicle tracking system, stock, ETF, or cryptocurrency tracking system. So just choose any one of these. If you have any questions or you have something else in mind, like a video game version, for example, if you'd like to create the database for a video game, a mobile video game, feel free to ask me and we can go through this. And yeah, if it's reasonable, you can go ahead and do that. Just make sure you reach out. So I state here, do a great job with the database modeling, and this is because we will be using this data access API in the future. So a low quality job here will lead to difficulty with scalability, and it could end up being problematic in the future. So just do a great job, and just name your constraints, those kinds of items that I covered in the past couple videos. Just make sure that it's clean so that you can have a good base for the next couple weeks. An ERD, so I'd like for the group to provide an ERD, an entity relational diagram. I suggest using Draw.io, so I was just playing around with it here. You can have multiple tables, so I could add another table here and change the table name. So this could be like invoice ID, and then property one, so on and so forth. And we can have this connect to other tables as such. So we can click on this and change the symbols here on our relations. So this is pretty good. I mean, you could also use SQL Server Management Studio's database diagrams where they're automatically generated. You're more than welcome to do that. I would prefer this. I really would, because it's easier for me to read. However, if absolutely necessary, you can use that. Just make sure that it's legible. Make sure that I can read it. Make sure that it's a high quality screenshot, and make sure that all of the tables and the constraints and other relations are clearly it's clear for the viewer to see what the structure is. That's why I like Draw.io so much. Next, create a video. Just cover some difficulties that you might have encountered. And then I'd like to see a demonstration of the API. So just demonstrate reading from the database and then insert some data into the database. These can be backwards, so you can insert the data first and then read the data. But just make sure you cover these here items. For the code base, upload the entire code base to GitHub, and this includes your database creation script. So just include that SQL file and include a link to the repository. So I thought I'd add this note. Ensure that your repository is available for anybody to view. Not necessarily all of your repositories. If you have some private stuff that you don't, some private code, if you're creating the next Facebook or whatever, and you don't want people to see that, go ahead and keep that private. That's fine. But for this assignment, I'd like to be able to see that when I click on that link. I don't want to go to a login required screen. So just make sure that that's covered, or else you will get a 0. The group will get a 0, so just make sure to check. And peer reviews, just download a copy of the peer review template. It's located right here. And fill out the peer review for each group member. Here's an example of how I calculate the score. So just ensure that, for one, just do a good job, and you shouldn't have to worry about low peer review scores. And number 2, it is an average. So if one person gives you a 1, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna fail or anything. Just like I said, just do good work, and then there's no reason for you to get a 1 or a 2 or even a 3 for that matter. Just do a good job. Yeah, if you have any questions, just reach out. But yeah, that's about it. So I hope you all have fun with this assignment. This is where we start getting into the real world modeling here. These are APIs that you could actually link to web applications or mobile applications. So it's legitimate. So just make sure you do a good job here. Enjoy. Y'all take care, and thanks for watching.